My wife drained our saving for her ex and his children. So I transferred my money and filed divorce. I'm 38, a software engineer, and until recently I thought I was in a solid marriage. My wife and I have been together for 9 years, married for 6. We were partners, or at least I thought so. We shared everything. We planned our lives around a simple goal: build a future, save for a home, maybe start a family. I never thought I'd be dealing with the mess I'm in now. We lived modestly, saved diligently. I handled our finances with her full agreement. Not that she didn't have access. We both had access, but she preferred I manage the budgeting, the savings, the investments. It was a system that worked well, or so I thought. So when I opened our savings account one night to check on an investment, I noticed something weird. A large chunk was missing, like a lot. At first, I thought it was a glitch or maybe I'd missed something in our budget. But when I dug into the account, it was clear. Thousands of dollars had been withdrawn, slowly, over a few months. And she hadn't said a word about it. I tried not to jump to conclusions. Maybe she was planning something, some big surprise. So I decided to bring it up casually. One night, while we were watching TV, I leaned over and asked, "Hey, noticed a lot of cash withdrawals lately. Do you know what that's for?" She didn't even look at me, just shrugged. "Oh, that? Probably just bills or something. Nothing to worry about." It felt like a brush off, but I didn't want to overreact. I let it go. A few days passed, but the withdrawals were gnawing at me. Something was off, and I couldn't ignore it. So, while she was out, I logged in again and went through every transaction, one by one. These withdrawals weren't random. They were regular, almost weekly, all in cash and always in amounts that added up. Thousands just gone. I felt a mix of anger and confusion. Why hadn't she told me? This was our money, our future. I had to confront her again, but this time I was direct. We were sitting at the dinner table, and I asked, "Can you tell me where the money's been going? Those cash withdrawals aren't for bills." She froze, sighed, and looked down. "I've been helping someone out." Oh, I was caught off guard. We didn't have anyone close to us who's in trouble. No one had mentioned needing help. "It's Sam," she mumbled. "He's going through a rough time." Sam was her ex. I didn't even know they were in touch. She'd left him long before we met. "You're helping Sam? Since when are you two talking?" She shrugged, looking uncomfortable. "It's complicated. He's got kids now, and they're struggling. I'm just trying to help them get by." I couldn't believe what I was hearing. She was giving our money we'd saved together, to her ex and his kids. "Why didn't you tell me?" I asked, trying to keep my voice calm. She avoided my eyes. "I didn't think you'd understand." That hit me hard. I'd never given her a reason to think I wouldn't understand. But it wasn't just the secrecy that hurt. It was a betrayal. I took a few days to process, but my mind kept circling back to the same questions. What else was she hiding? Why had she gone behind my back? Then more signs started showing up. Nights she came home late, vague excuses, hours she couldn't account for. Was this help for Sam really just financial? One night, when she was out running errands, I decided to check her laptop. We shared passwords, so it was easy enough to get in. In her messages, I found confirmation. She'd been talking to Sam regularly, coordinating payments and planning to meet. She'd signed a lease for him, using our money without my knowledge, and had even put down a hefty deposit for him and his kids. He wasn't even employed, apparently didn't plan to be, and she was playing his financial safety net. I scrolled through the messages, reading lines like, "Don't worry, I've got it covered, and just focus on the kids, I'll handle the details." She was playing the role of his partner, organizing his life while acting like our marriage was fine. When she came home that night, I laid it all out. "You signed a lease for Sam with our savings? Without telling me?" She looked defensive, like I was overreacting. "They're in a tough spot, okay? I couldn't just turn my back on them. You don't understand. They're kids. They deserve a stable life. That doesn't give you the right to lie and drain our savings." I couldn't believe her entitlement, how she was trying to justify it all. "He's family," she said, crossing her arms. "You wouldn't get it. You've never been in a situation where someone needed you like that. Family." She'd actually put her ex and his kids above our marriage. I was done. I knew it, but hearing it out loud solidified it. She saw me as someone who wouldn't understand, who wasn't worth being honest with. I spent that night walking, just trying to get my head straight. By the time I got home, I knew what I had to do. The next morning, while she was at work, I logged into our accounts and transferred everything into a new account under my name. I wasn't going to let her take one more cent for her ex. And then I filed for divorce. When she came home, she found the papers waiting for her. The shock on her face was satisfying, but I kept my cool. "What the hell is this?" she demanded, waving the papers. "It's over. I can't be with someone who thinks it's okay to betray me like this." She looked stunned, then angry. "It's not betrayal. They needed help. You're overreacting. I was just doing the right thing. By lying to me and draining our savings for someone you left years ago." She refused to take responsibility. She kept saying it wasn't a big deal, that I was just being heartless. In her mind, she was some hero for helping Sam. No matter how much I tried to explain, she refused to see it from my perspective. In the weeks leading up to the court date, she tried every tactic. She guilted me, reminded me of all the things she'd done for us, even threatened to go to my family, saying I'd abandoned her. It was all manipulation, and I didn't bite. I was done. At court, she gave this over-the-top speech about how she'd only ever been trying to help people who needed it, and how my reaction was proof of my cruelty. She tried to spin it like I was some control freak, not letting her spend her own money. My lawyer presented the evidence. The transfers, the lease, the records of all the cash withdrawals. The judge saw right through her. When she tried to defend herself, saying it was all out of compassion, he cut her off, reminding her that taking joint funds without agreement isn't compassion, it's theft. And then the kicker. Her ex, Sam, showed up to testify. He was irritated and didn't even bother dressing up, just jeans and a t-shirt, looking like he'd rather be anywhere else. When asked, he admitted he'd known she was using her own money, but didn't think it'd be a big deal because she seemed fine with it. He didn't seem grateful. If anything, he was annoyed to be there, like he deserved her help. The judge ruled in my favor, ordering her to pay back half of the funds she'd taken. I knew it would be tough for her, given that she'd already spent so much on Sam, but that was no longer my problem. I was relieved, finally free from her entitlement and manipulation. After the ruling, she made one last attempt. She called me, crying, apologizing, saying she'd been stupid and misguided and begging for a second chance. But I'd heard enough. I told her that trust, once broken, doesn't come back with an apology. She didn't take it well. Over the next few weeks, she went around telling everyone her side of the story, making me out to be the villain who abandoned her. Some friends bought it, sending me nasty messages about being heartless. But others knew me better. They knew what our marriage had been like, knew about her tendency to bend the truth. Slowly, people started coming to me for the real story. I laid it out, showing them the evidence. And most people came around. She lost more friends than I did. As for Sam, he bailed as soon as the money dried up. She tried to chase him down, demanding he repay her, but he ghosted her. The same person she'd sacrificed everything for had left her to deal with the fallout. Looking back, her actions were pure entitlement. She convinced herself she was a hero, someone who sacrificed for others. But all she did was betray me. Loyalty can be toxic when it's misplaced. She'd show me that. Now I'm rebuilding, but I'm better off when it's not one-sided. Thank you so much for listening to my story. If you have any thoughts, I'd love to hear them. So please leave a comment. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want more stories like this one.